What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Genesis League goals and Genesis League sports content today. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys. Well, we haven't talked about this in a while, or at least Genesis League goals, but there was a town hall today. Aggie did show up, his first what seems like a public appearance since the since the news in September about him being transitioning, we should say, or actually more importantly, in his words today, being demoted from the Split on side to now the GLS side. And we can get into that maybe not in this video, but another one. But it was, I got to say this, it was nice to see Aggie. It was nice to hear Aggie. And obviously he's still very much in bull mode. He did talk about the fact that, he's been going through some personal things. And if you want more information, you can watch the video. I'm not going to dive into it here. But he had some personal things tying him up over the past couple of months, but those seem to have resolved for the most part. And he is now ready to take GLS to the next level. So as with the usual, caveats, this is not a full summary. This is just the 5 biggest things. I'm not sure if anybody's creating full summaries for this, but if they aren't, I'm sorry, this is the best that you got. So, all right, let's jump into number 1. And I don't know why I had to ask this question and why the team was not talking about it, but I literally laid it out there and I said, because I was like, everything was just so frustrating and like, we're working on it, but we don't know, or we're not going to share eye candy, or we're not sure, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I just want to know, is it going to be out in 2023, or are we looking at a 2024 launch date for ranked play? All right. And because I just want to manage my own expectations. I don't want to be sitting here like waiting for news. And I was shocked to hear that internally the team is actually targeting less than a week away, November 9th, for the launch of ranked play. Now, we don't even have information on I think card combining and how all of that's going to work in full detail. We don't have information in terms of SPS, staking requirements. Again, we got a little bit of alpha from what's that called? From Khan, right? A couple of weeks ago in office hours, but there's still been no post. Skills, something that we haven't heard much about either, and how that's going to all play in. So there's so much information that we're missing, yet this is supposed to come out in less than a week. Now, this is a tentative target, and the team said that if they do not hit it, then they are going to try by the end of the month. Again, I don't know what to expect at this point. Obviously, I'm feeling rather bullish these days on a lot. And so I want to believe the team. I don't believe November 9th is going to be an actual thing, which is why I'm shocked that they actually said it out loud. But November 9th is what they said. I think there's still too much that they need to put out there. And considering that I'm recording this on a Friday, which is the day that the town hall was on, and this is supposed to come out by next Thursday, I mean, they would have to put out a bunch of posts with everything that we would need to know. Now, that could all come out in one post on Monday, and then all of a sudden, this video would become irrelevant. But that being said, that is where they're at. I wouldn't be surprised if it takes a little bit longer, just because that's the trend. November 9th is the date to look out for. So that's that. Number 2, in terms of Runway, that's obviously one of the big questions people have had. That seems to be okay. The team has about a year of runway, so it's going to get them through 2024. Now, they do have a couple of ideas. They want to raise capital, but let me not jump down to that. There is a new product, I believe, that they're planning on launching in January of 2024. Now, I don't know what that is, and they didn't dive into any more detail, but it kind of seemed glossed over, and I even glossed over it until I was putting my notes together. And I was like, new product? Wait, that's not GLG. We're talking about something completely different. Now, I don't know if that's another partnership with a sports league or if it's something smaller, but it's not GLG from my understanding, because the other way that they want to, increase revenue for next year is to sell, the next season of GLG packs, right? So 2024 GLG packs. So I don't know what this new product is, but that is kind of exciting, and that's part of the things that they will be launching next year. Now, Aggie still wants to go out and raise capital. He is willing to do something a little bit more similar to crowdfunding, but he had to clarify this. Crowdfunding is not a Kickstarter or Indiegogo type of campaign where it's open to anybody. It's crowdfunding like equity with, larger investors still, rather than having a VC come in and essentially one size fits all, and they essentially take control of everything. So I don't know how that's going to work. I don't think it's going to impact most of us who are just sitting here as small fish and minnows. I mean, if you have the money to invest, maybe you get in touch with Aggie if you want to get in on the ground floor of GLG. But that's kind of where things are at. Oops, I just realized I put Town Square at the top. This was obviously a town hall, so I'm calling out my own typo there. All right, number 3. This was new information to me. If it's late, I apologize, but we got some alpha about fans and how there's going to be two types of fans in the game in Genesis League Goals. There's going to be team fans, and this comes from your coach and your players, right? And gold foil actually is going to give you 5x the amount that your coach and players would have. And these stay with your team no matter what, right? It kind of reminds me of something like a collection power situation with Splinterlands, but I could be wrong. Now, your earned fans are ones that you gain through ranked play. And obviously, the more that you play, the higher up you go in leagues, which I think there's going to be a 5-tier system. That's going to be something where you get more and more fans. And that's essentially the rating that you have if you're trying to compare apples between this and Splinterlands. So that's kind of cool because I don't know how the fans are going to be divided between coaches and players and all that, but at least you will have a base fan base. And I'm sure there will be, I guess this is where it's going to get interesting because I wonder if it's based on like the popularity of a player and how they're going to go and design like which players have more fans versus other, players that don't have very many fans. Because if you remember, there's no rarities, right? There's gold foils and regular foils, but there's no rarities in terms of like the cards because they didn't want to hurt any players' feelings. So I don't know how they're going to get away with doing fans unless all players kind of have roughly amount of the same fans, right? But again, we'll end up seeing how that works. Number 4, there's something called a daily pass, which I believe is similar, again, apples to apples with Splinterlands, to your daily focus. Now, when you go and you do your daily whatever, you will get skills as the first rewards, but then there will be other rewards that come through as we go along. The team hasn't really talked much at length about that, so I don't want to speculate too much. But it doesn't sound as though there's going to be any seasons. So there's no like end of season type of rewards or end of season reset. It's just going to be it sounds like a daily reset if I heard that correctly. And then every day you're going to go and have to do your kind of like focus and earn those rewards. So it's going to be very basic. But my hope is that, we never got the battle pass in Splinterlands. Not that a battle pass makes the most sense here for Genesis League Goals, but it would be nice to have something to work towards or work through for an entire, season, we'll call it, but not like an MLS season, but just like, maybe 2 weeks to 6 weeks or 2 months or something like that, just to have something that you're kind of progressing in compared to other people. But that, they're just trying to get a basic game out right now. I think that will be something for 2024, 2025, if we ever get there. And then lastly, this might've been mentioned before as well, but it caught my ear. In order to unlock slots for your cards, right, and to get them to higher levels, star levels, there will be a GLGT fee when you combine the cards. Now, there's two ways to level up your cards, right? The stars and then the XP. The XP is what you gain from actually playing. So the players actually going out and doing things and playing games gets them that XP over time. But there's going to be XP caps at every star level. And the way that you unlock star levels is by combining cards similar to Splinterlands, right? And I believe it's like 400 regular foil will get you a max, and then 100 gold foil will get you a max. So there will be a GLGT fee, not for the XP side, but for the star side. Again, they did not release any information on that, but it does give immediate and somewhat ongoing utility for GLGT as more players come in and as people, buy more cards and slowly level up their collections over time. But otherwise, I'm actually quite excited for this. If the game does launch in the next couple of weeks here, I mean, that's going to be super cool considering that we've been waiting for it for, months at this point. But, in conjunction with everything else that's happening in crypto and Bitcoin, and of course on the Splinterlands side, this could make for a very exciting end of 2023 and of course lead into a 2024, which I personally think will be quite exciting simply because it is the year of the Bitcoin halving, and hopefully there'll be a lot that'll be going down. But that is all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I will catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.